Good morning. Today is Thursday. Truth. Pravda. Truth. Truth Thursday. Truth Bomb Thursday. And tomorrow will be Fun Fact Friday. So today we have Truth Bomb. Now it's important that I'm going to verify this because I want to be big shout out to a guy that's recently come on the scene. Brilliant work. Loving his stuff because I've only just noticed him recently. And this guy is TP and his site is called Excalibur. I'll link it below, but this latest one is anyone listening, Fraud McConville is that guy. Now remember, that I started this process off. Warsaw Kevin declares war against Abel Danger. I'll link that below. And you'll also see in there that the evidence that Jason Goodman used on this latest walkabout thing against Scott Bennett doesn't mention where he got that evidence from. Oh, he got that from me. And you'll see that in the video. In those days I wasn't as assured as I am now of what I was doing. I was just bumbling around. But now I have focused. Boom! And on target. Boom! So some people keep saying, oh yes, it's Agent Serco has returned. Well, Agent Serco was a joke. Agent Serco was taking the piss out of them because first of all they called me a Russian agent, a bot, a troll, a liar, compromised, worked for Kinetic North America, also working for the Russian government, a compromised individual, and all other aspersions that they've cast on me, but never ever given any fact-based evidence behind it. Who do I work with? Me and my cup of coffee and obviously the desk I'm on when I do my illustration work when I get round to it, which I haven't done any for a little while, which was a bit naughty of me. I must admit I've been a bit lazy there, but hey ho, I've just gone back into this area again because it has to be this area has to be closed and dealt with. This is what's took over my life for a long time. And also a word of advice: do not go to their webpage site Children's Crusade because since I've done that, my iTunes account came under a suspicious attack, which I've had to now resort all that out again. So please be very careful because luckily for me, I have lots of things set in place. I've had to change everything again on my iTunes because it came under attack again. Because obviously, researching these people, they are not good people. I'll tell you that now. So when we look at what Mr. TP put out, brilliant, I'm now going to clarify it even more. Like I said, Truth Bomb Thursday, and I'm going to link this below. And it's the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, filed on the 24th of the 1st, 2011. I want you to listen to that date. Pilot Field McConnell, proceeding pro se, alleges that the Airlines Pilot Association's International ALPA union breached its duty of fair representation by failing to represent him properly in the grievances process with his former employer, Northwest Airlines Incorporated. ALPA filed a motion for summary judgment because the complaint is time-barred under the applicable statute of limitations. Summary judgment will be granted in favour of ALPA. Facts. It's a very good word here. Facts. So, Mr. McConnell was employed as a pilot with Northwest Airlines Incorporated. In November of 2006, he went on sick leave, pursuant to the collective bargaining agreement between Northwest Airlines and its pilots. Northwest Airlines could order a pilot who was on sick leave for more than 60 days to submit to a medical exam. The collective bargaining agreement provided. Below is the bit here. B1. The company has reasonable cause to believe that a pilot has developed a medical impairment to his ability to perform his duties between routine medical examinations required by the Federal Aviation Administration. The company may require said pilot to submit to a medical examination for a non-AME medical doctor chosen by the company. The company will be entitled to I. Submit to the medical doctor a written explanation of the circumstances given reason rise to the request for an examination, and 2. Require that the pilot submit to an examination by a non-MAE specialist or specialists recommended by such doctor. Note, this paragraph should not preclude the company from requiring a pilot to submit to a medical examination under the following circumstances: application for disability retirement, initial captain checkout, election for continued flying as a second officer beyond the regulated age, see section 24M, and 4. A pilot who is on sick leave or medical leave or absence for 60 or more consecutive days. Defendant Mott for sum J. Duckett 28 Plunkett declared ex collective bargaining agreement. In January of 2007, after McConnell had been on sick leave for more than 60 days, Northwest Airlines ordered him to undergo a medical examination. Mr. McConnell objected to taking the exam and he sought assistance from ALPA. Mr. McConnell contended that the Northwest Airlines lacked reasonable cause to order such a medical exam. Despite his objections, Mr. McConnell reported for the exam on January the 31st, 2007. After that exam, Northwest Airlines directed Mr. McConnell, now this is very important, people, Northwest Airlines directed Mr. McConnell to submit to an additional examination by a neuropsychologist, Dr. Elliott, in Los Angeles on March the 1st and 2nd of 2007. Mr. McConnell did not attend the March and 2nd first and second appointment, so it's a 2-day evaluation. Very important, that. Northwest Airlines wrote to Mr. McConnell that due to his failure to attend the March 1st and 2nd appointment, Northwest Airlines removed Mr. McConnell from sick leave status effective March the 2nd, 2007, pending Mr. McConnell's compliance with the medical exam requirement. See Plunkett declined. An AME doctor is an aeromedical doctor certified by the Federal Aviation Administration to determine pilots for fitness for flying. Example 4, March 13th, 2007. Northwest Airlines rescheduled the appointment with Dr. Elliott to March 26th, 2000 Instead of attending the rescheduled appointment, Mr. McConnell retired on March 13th, 2007. ID X June 2007 email. I also exhibit 6 June 29, 2000 email. So there's 2 emails here that show something. What is that, we wonder? Let's carry on. Mr. McConnell decided that he wanted to grieve his removal from payroll effective March the 2nd. ALPA is the collective bargaining representation of pilots employed by Northwest Airlines. On June the 30th, 2007, ALPA filed a grievance on his behalf. And ALPA attorney Robert Plunkett filed the grievance. The grievance alleged that Mr. McConnell did not receive any directed or direction to see Dr. Elliott, and learned of the March 1st and 2nd appointment via the March 13th letter from the Northwest Airlines. As a remedy, the grievance requested that Northwest Airlines pay Mr. McConnell sick leave from March the 2nd, 2000 until his retirement on March the 13th, 2007, and to recalculate his pension benefits to include this sick leave. So that's important to know, because we want to know how much he was getting paid on his pension. Could he afford to pay in David Hawkins $500 a month, as stated over a long period of time? I carry on. While Mr. McConnell claims he never received written notice on the March 1st and 2nd appointment with Dr. Elliott, see Compliance 20, the record shows that Mr. McConnell actually knew of the ordered exam and scheduled March dates. Mr. McConnell noted in February the 6th, 2007 email, I am being sent to LA to see a neuropsychologist and the appointment is set for 1st and 2nd of March. Plunkett declined exhibition 3rd, February 6, 2007 email. On July the 3rd, 2007, Mr. McConnell copied Mr. Plunkett on an email to another person, including that Mr. McConnell wanted to be compensated for the pay rate of a 747-400 aircraft pilot until he turned 65 or until restored to flying. Mr. Plunkett responded to Mr. McConnell explaining that the grievance that ALPA filed for him covered back pay from March the 2nd to March the 13th, when Mr. McConnell retired. We have filed no claim for pay at 400 rates until you return 65, as you voluntarily retired and no claim was brought to it. Okay, so if McConnell turns 70 this year, take 5 years off, so his pension started really in 2013. That's interesting to know as well, isn't it? There's a lot of holes in this fucking pension story, isn't there? So either Hawkins is lying or McConnell's lying, or they're all lying. But anyway, I digressed because I'm getting to the most interesting part about this. Claim for pay at 400 rates until you would have turned 65 as you voluntarily retired and no claim can be brought. On July the 8th, 2007, Mr. McConnell sent an email to Mr. Plunkett stating he wanted to cancel his grievance as follows. Please cancel my grievance. I have requested a return to be flying or be paid to retirement age. I do not consider 6 days pay adequate. I spoke with a DOJ official who suggested I consider a qui tam filing. I have located a QT attorney and I anticipate meeting with FBI intel fairly soon. Please advise Northwest Airlines legal of this request to be cancelled. Bearing in mind that he is now in the clutches of Hawkins. But who was the person that was the DOJ official? Well, that was none other than Christine Marcy, his own sister. He asked her for advice, but then promoted her to something she wasn't. Mr. McConnell followed up with his formal letter saying that if my demand that my grievance against Northwest Airlines be dropped, it is that totally inadequate and contrary to my written instructions. Blah, 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 blah. But this, of course, filed his suit on September the 17th, 2008, alleging that ALPA failed to properly represent him in his grievances processes that ALPA permitted filming, blah, blah, blah. So this was in 2008 that he fucking did, right? But this is the interesting bit. Mr. McConnell also alleges that he complained to Northwest Airlines regarding the safety concerns that modifications have been made to Boeing airplanes that are unsafe and illegal, and this is the cause of various airplane crashes. He is also alleged that Boeing illegally exported military technology regarding QRS-11 gyroscopes. Northwest Airlines and Boeing are not parties to this suit, and thus allegations are not relevant to Mr. McConnell's suit against ALPA. I rest my case. The QRS-11 was a smokescreen to make out that this guy's a whistleblower, which he's not. The QRS-11 chips are actually gyroscopes. And yes, Boeing did send out planes with it onto China. That was the scandal. What Hawkins has done is done what Hawkins always does. He embellishes the facts and then embellishes his story to the facts and muddies the whole bloody thing up with his insane lies. That's what they are, lies. Hawkins is a compulsive liar, a Walter Mitty of the first degree. Combined with this other liar, McConnell, it is a recipe of double trouble for lying. But as you can see, as I read this wonderful US court document, not only in there it states about the DOJ official, who would be the DOJ official? Well, that would be his sister. This is the guy that this is the person they've been attacking, accusing of all these crimes since 2011. And why is that? Because she didn't help him win his court case against ALPA. Is that not interesting? Is that not interesting? Don't you think? Don't you understand why I've been banging on about this since the day one, since Warsaw Gavin declared war? Because I started putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. And I called myself Agent Serco because I was sticking two fingers up at these idiots because they didn't have the brains between them to work out the sarcasm and the cynicism towards them and their inabilities to actually put facts forward rather than their insane ramblings. But don't worry, tomorrow's Fun Fact Filled Friday will show the duplicity of one, Jason Goodman, and his double standards, and also to show how Jason Goodman is actually using his platform to create social engineering. I'll expose all of that tomorrow, but I'll also expose the double standards. It's going to be an interesting one tomorrow. Stay tuned. And as for that, TP. Oh, and also another guy you must follow is Tom Thumbkins. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And to TP, cheers. I'm having my coffee now. Have a nice day.